You're good. So today's course of fire, I'm just going to be taking some buck and ball cartridges and I'm going to see if there's any difference between loading them buckshot first or ball first. But how did I get here? Well, just a real short overview of buck and ball. I've covered this in a couple of videos so far, but it doesn't hurt to recover them. Buck and ball was made up of one ball and multiple buckshot. Usually the buckshot was about 31 to 32 caliber and the ball was 61, 64 caliber. That was rolled and put into a pre-made cartridge such as this. This is to represent a military style cartridge that would have been used. And it's just rolled up. This comes from pages from a book, and I have some twine to hold it together with the powder on top. I'm using about 100 grains of 2F black powder. I have a 61 caliber ball right there in the middle, and then I have 32 caliber balls right there at the bottom. I'm using 3 buckshot. And I was wondering if it's any difference if you load buckshot to the bottom or ball to the bottom. What leaves the barrel first? Will it be the smaller buckshot pellets or the larger ball? If you go on Wikipedia right now and you Wikipedia buck and ball, there is an image taken of a English musket that was recovered from a shipwreck and that was loaded with buck and ball when the ship went down. And that provides a really good glimpse into how it was loaded. It does have buckshot at the bottom of the breech with the ball on top. And then also a little bit further up, it has what appears to be more buckshot. But that doesn't quite seem to compute because there's such a gap between the ball and the buckshot. It could be, something from the sea that is like urchins, I don't know, some sea creatures or some pebbles that have gone down the barrel. But yeah, that's generally been the reference I've been using. If anybody has any documentation, anything that they've read or seen, please leave a comment down below. Or if you know something that I don't, which is very, very common, just leave a comment down below. I love responding with the comments and learning from you guys as well. I'm very new to all of this. I've only really been shooting buck and ball that's not many times. I've only been shooting actual round ball for about a year. So let's head out to our range and see our target, and then we'll walk out to 25 yards and take it from there. So our targets for today are going to be Osama bin Laden times 3. This is an alternate history in which we didn't win the war in Iraq and Iraq wasn't liberated and we didn't stop them over there. And then they came over the ocean, they fought through the Carolinas, they went over the Appalachians, and now they've made it to the Midwest. And so we will have to stop them here on the plains with buck and ball. So yeah, let's head out to 25 yards and take our shots. So let's load our cartridges. Pre-made cartridge. First up, we're gonna shoot, we'll shoot buckshot on bottom, ball on top. So take off the top, powder first. Buckshot on bottom, ball on top, so that top paper acts as a wadding on the way out. And here we go. Much better to load than that 7-in-1 buck and ball. That was not very easy to load, let me tell you that. This gun's already been through a little bit of work today. So just so you know what we're shooting today, we are shooting a Miroku model 1766. These are referred to as Charleville, but we all know that story. We'll continue on. If you don't, if you watch my other videos, I cover this plenty of times. So this is a reproduction of a French infantry musket from the system of 1766. This one specifically was made in Japan by Miroku and imported through Dixie Gun Works. This is stocked in American walnut. This is 69 caliber. I'm going to be shooting 110 grains for all of these cartridges today of 2F black powder. I got the buckshot from Track of the Wolf as well as the ball. This gun is quite dirty. We've been shooting for a bit here today. So we have loaded and rammed the cartridges down. So let's prime our pan. Close our hammer. That is the correct term for the time. It was not known as a frizzen at the time. This is known as a hammer, and this is known as a cock. So we're going to go from half cock to full cock. And we have a shooting stand here to help me aim. And we will be taking our first shot. We'll just shoot bin Laden on the far left and then bin Laden in the middle. So let's take our first shot. with buckshot at the bottom. We're going to be aiming at about the waist. It stops here, Bin Laden! And he keeps on coming. So let's quickly load another cartridge of buck and ball. I just noted that this is a 5-in-1 buck and ball, so my test from the other earlier is not completely correct. So yeah, that's going to be, I took out 2 balls, as you can see. That was actually a 5-in-1. So this is the buckshot. That is a 32 caliber ball, and this is the ball. This is a 61 caliber ball. So that is the size difference right there. So let's see how they do. Cast about. We're reducing the amount of powder that we're putting in the pan, and I think it's helping me with my flintlock flinch. So we are ready to go. We have 100 grains. We have our buckshot and our ball. Let's take round number 2 at Bin Laden in the middle. Okay, let's go down range and see how we did. All right, here are our 2 targets. Mr. Bin Laden on the left actually ate 1 ball, 3 buckshot. That's pretty interesting to see there. So he ate the full package. He ingested all of them. And then Mr. Bin Laden in the middle, he took the 1 ball right here. And I don't see the impact of the buckshot, but then again, that buckshot was not necessarily where it should have been because I had to rip that paper cartridge again. So I'm gonna put some little pasties up here and then head back out to 25 and do it again. This time we're gonna put the ball on bottom. Okay, so the next part of our test is that we will be loading buck and ball. This time the ball will be on top, so it will be like this. It will be inverted, as they would say. Here we go, right down barrel. And actually I can load it just like that now, with the ball on top. That twine does get in the way a little bit. I'm shooting a lot of twine downrange. Let's pull out our ramrod. Let's ram it down. Got hit. Come in with some energy. Set it. The ball is now set with the buckshot on top. Cast about. Go to half cock. Put some powder in our pan. I've gotten about 40 rounds out of this one flint. This is the flint that came with this flintlock when I picked it up at the Des Moines Gun Show. But here we go. So this will be round number 3. This will be ball on bottom, buckshot on top. So that means the buckshot will be leaving the barrel first. We will be going for middle Bin Laden. Let's get into that good kneeling position and fire. Okay. Come back around, cast about. Load that powder all the way down. Shove in our pre-made cartridge, ramrod. You're about 20% faster loading these things from the standing. The reason I'm really smashing that ramrod down to set that cartridge into the breech is I want to make sure that it's pushed all the way down to basically the block right here at the end of the breech, so that way it's right there in the powder and it's more likely to go off. If there's any space there, there's more likely for a malfunction or failure to fire, more appropriately is what you'd call it. So yeah, we are ready to go. We just have to prime our pan. Again, to have powder right in the pan. Close up our horn. This would not be correct of how they would have done it. They would have just done it all, but you know, I'm just taking a little. I want to get as much power in this breech as possible. This gun is now in condition 2, which, whatever. We'll just go condition 1. We will now be shooting Mr. Bin Laden in the middle with buck and ball. You can see there's some little smoke burning down there. So let's go down range and see what the impact was. I don't know how this is gonna go. I really have nothing to, we'll find this out together. Here we are down at the receiving end of the flintlock. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 impacts with the buckshot, 2 impacts with the ball. So when I compare that to the other buck and ball, I have 100%, unless I'm miscounting a buckshot hit from a previous shot, 100% of the buck and ball have hit the target. That is the result of the test for today. Let me know what you guys think. I honestly, it looks like buck and ball is more, it's better to be shot ball on bottom, buckshot on top. But yeah, if you guys have anything to comment about, please leave that down below. If you have any questions, also leave that down below. I love to engage with you guys. But yeah, until next time, take care. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. You know what to do. It really helps the channel out. So, see ya. So a quick aside, this is what the musket looks like after about 15 shots at 2F black powder. It's definitely clean that pan a little bit. And this, I've had the same flint for about 40 to 50 rounds now, so that's very nice to come forward. So yeah, dirty gun, but that's the fun of black powder. And as you can see, got it all on my face and all over my shirt. So yeah, fun little side. So much fun to shoot these things. If you've never had the experience, I really hope you can get the experience. If you only shot modern rifles, get your hands on something black powder and take it out for a spin. They're quite humbling when it comes to marksmanship, as you've noticed from my videos. But yeah, such a fun time. And they're absolutely gorgeous because they got wood.